In a game as thoroughly explored as Marvel vs. Capcom 3, it's rare to see characters outside of the established powerhouses. Vergil, Zero, Morrigan, Doctor Doom, and Magneto are some example staples. But where are the low-tier heroes? Well, look no further than Irongod. The undisputed master of Thor in MVC3, Irongod has taken the God of Thunder farther than anyone ever thought possible. Though Thor may not be as over-the-top as his top-tier counterparts, Irongod has proven that with the right playstyle, Marvel's take on the Norse deity can hang with the best of them. Today, Irongod shares the secret sauce. What is up, y'all? KRCPinto here. Today, I'm playing some Marvel with the one and only Irongod. Irongod, how you doing, man?
Doing good. How about yourself?
Doing great. Super stoked to talk about Thor, one of my favorite Marvel characters of all time in like comics and movies. So obviously, you know, I'm stoked to go through his stuff in Marvel vs. Capcom 3. You are like the only person who plays this character that I can think of. What's it like being like the one for a character?
It's pretty interesting, actually. I think a lot of the meta has changed because of the way I played the character, and I feel like changed a lot of people's opinions on things where matchups may have looked harder than they thought, but if you put in the time and you put in the work, I mean, you can make anything possible. I make matchups look 5-5, even though they're probably like 6-4 or 7-3. You just gotta work hard and, you know, play what you love, and that's all that matters.
Dude, love that. All right, well, I got some questions for you today about how you make him look so good. You ready to jump into it?
Yeah, I'm down. Let's go.
All right, let's do it. All right, dude, so let's start it off easy. What's your favorite move of Thor's and why? Could be normal, special, super, just whatever you like best.
Okay, I actually have two in particular, actually, because this one is just too hard. But my favorite moves are obviously, as Yipe says, the Haagen-Dazs, the command grabs. I love just like reading people's movements, you know, and just grabbing them and getting combos like this off. You know, you can just, it's just so cool. Like you can hard tag and stuff like that. My second favorite move actually is his taunt, because it's just so dirty, and I gain meter. If like you actually never seen that, you actually gain meter from it. So you can gain bar while you're doing it. So it's actually a really good tactic to use in neutral sometimes if your opponent's far away. So it's one of my favorite moves.
So you stand there talking smack and gaining meter?
Yeah. I talk that smack in the game and outside the game, and I still gain meter.
That's awesome. So what do you do to do that? Do you just like throw an assist out to cover it and then try and build some meter up when you're full screen?
Yeah, like a lot of people, when they play like, let's say Doctor Doom for example, they'll super jump and throw the photon array. I could be all the way on the other side, and I wait for them to fall down on the third rep, because that's when they usually fall down. And then I do sparks plus bolts, this, and then I just start gaining meter and stuff. Since the bolts cover Doom's landing, so you can't move, so it just lets me gain meter, and it just, yeah, it's super good in my opinion.
That's actually sneaky too. It's kind of masked by like the lightning effect and then Doctor Strange doing stuff behind him.
Yeah.
Nice. That's dope. All right, so let's talk about Thor's assists. This is a team game. Assists are pretty important. I know you run him point, but you know, just to be thorough, what do you think is his best assist?
Best assist is definitely the Mighty Smash in my opinion. It's a super good move, 2 hits, gives you a ground bounce, and also it also has an assault counter. You can also assault counter with it. It's really good. So if I set the com to record, and I'm just gonna do a basic VMB, I can defensive counter for 1 bar, and I get the combo, which is one of the greatest things ever. It's super good. I think it's his best assist, and plus I think he's very neutral on. He's like neutral on block as well, even if you're blocking it, which is super good. And even if I do that as well, you know, I have a safe DHC super as well, which I can command grab them if they try to attack me as well. So that's really good. So I'd say probably Mighty Smash is the best assist.
In terms of team position, do you think point is his best spot, or is that just where you prefer him?
Point is probably the best optimal spot in my opinion in this game. There's others that do have play him second, depending on your team composition, such as the Tron Bond team. You can play him second, but I think the preferred is first because I think Thor benefits off two assists that are super strong in neutral, and I feel like playing a one neutral assist with Thor is just too weak, in my opinion, to play at a high level. You know, you can only get so far with just one neutral assist.
All right, so let's talk about Thor in neutral. This game,
Okay.
neutral can be super chaotic. You play in points, you've got some assists on deck. What are you doing to close the gap with Thor?
So, with the close of that gap with Thor, honestly, you need to make sure that your movement is very impeccable, but also placing your spots perfectly where you're not going to be getting hit by stuff, especially in like a zero mirror, like a zero matchup. In my opinion, you need to be like, what I do is I like to air dash, but also cancel all my air dashes with light. And what happens is I'm canceling the momentum of his air dash to make him go faster. And so, you know, it makes him look so faster as opposed to this. Like, I can just use the momentum to fall down faster.
Okay.
And then a lot of tools that he needs to use to get in. It's honestly just this move, Mighty Strike. You can aim it in different directions. On the ground, you go up, right, and sideways, or right to right or left, depending on what side you're on. And then for his air one, you go down, right, and then left or right, depending on the screen or the side that you're on. So this tool is honestly one of the best tools because one, the uncharged version, so the regular version, this one, it beats projectiles, which is super good. And it's not even the armor one, so you can just freely just put it out there, and you know, like all the projectiles go away. Even like Zero Sogenmu, you can't even use Sogenmu as Zero because Thor will blow up all the projectiles with Mighty Strike. And then the charge one, it beats both physical and projectile. So you can actually, if someone tries to hit you while it's going, they'll get stuck for it, and it's super good. It's one of his best tools. I think it's one of the strongest tools in the game, in my opinion. It's just so good. It just beats so many options.
Is there a limit to the armor on it? Like, does it absorb like a certain amount of hits, or is it just full invincible while the move's active?
Absorbs a certain amount of hits, I believe so. I feel like you can contest them a lot out of it, but it's really hard. You can grab them too, but it's really hard. But it is really hard to contest this move a lot unless you're like close to him in general. So that's how it is really in neutral.
So he's got that beam projectile that you just used there. Do you find yourself using that much in neutral? I know we just talked about how you kind of set up a charge, but is that something you do to like set up your approach, or is it more of just like a kind of like a counter zoning measure?
It's both actually, in my opinion. Counter zoning mostly. Harder to use on characters like Zero and stuff because of the smaller boxes. So when I actually shoot the beam, they actually are under it, so I can't actually use it in that matchup. But taller characters, like the medium-sized characters and up, this move is really good in my opinion. Super fast, hits really fast, and also, you know, I get Bolt's extension too off it, so it's great. You know, I get Blink Dash like all the way over there and like get a confirm if I ever landed too. But yeah, it's super good. It's good versus a lot of characters that have air dashes. He can really control the pace of the game with these moves. You know, if you're trying to jump, you know, he can't. You know, he can just throw the spark. It's super good. Super strong versus air dashes in general, like Nova, Magneto. I have a really hard time dealing with this move in my opinion. That's really it, honestly. You can be a little bit risky sometimes on Wake Up and just, you know, command grab on because it's invul, frame 1. But other than that, he doesn't really have really good tools other than those two. Mostly you just want to be using Mighty Strike to navigate your way around the screen. You got to be really careful, make sure you kind of have to predict people's movements on the ground and in there. You know, he might like dash under me and I'll do this one, the Mighty Strike heavy charge, and I'll clip him for trying to dash under me or something, like right under me, and it hits. Or it's just you want to navigate around the screen with Mighty Strike. That's the most important thing, but also be careful where you're placing them too.
Does he have a flight?
Yes, he does, but I never use it actually. Yes, but he does have a flight. I just never use it. I think it's actually not important unless I'm stalling in the air against like a Morrigan matchup. I can be all the way up here and just like flying all the way around, you know. But that's about it. I would never use it in a real match unless it's Morrigan, or like if I'm trying to live something with like low HP and I need to fly, then sure. But that's about it.
Gotcha. Is that just because like his options out of it aren't that ideal, or like what's the reason?
He has a very slow flight, in my opinion. Like I feel like, I mean, this looks like kind of regular, but I just think like it just doesn't. You don't really need to use flight when you have tools that navigate with you better, like Mighty Strike. It's just like a better fight for him. He doesn't need to navigate around the screen, and plus most of the time you're playing offense with Thor in general, so you don't want to be like flying around like on the opposite side, like trying to get away.
Right, he's not doing like a Doom or a Magneto where he's trying to float around and throw stuff.
Yeah, you don't want to be doing that. You only want to be throwing out like Mighty Strikes like all the time.
Alright man, let's talk about the fun part.
Okay.
So you play good neutral, you close the gap, you're in their face now. What are we doing to make people sweat? What are you doing for pressure and to like set up some mix-up situations with Thor?
Okay, so pressure, a lot of pressure most of the time. It usually starts off with JL, and that's usually what happens. So people like to, you know, push block, or, you know, if they guard it, you know, I can command grab. There's also the fake command grab setup where you can car cancel. You could do, oops, if I can do it right. So my button actually came out, but my heavy actually came out, but it doesn't hit because I canceled it into the command grab. So your car canceling, that's really good too. I have another one that's pretty new that I've been working on. If I can land it, I believe.
The new. Love that.
Yeah. Yes. But he has an instant overhead fuzzy that you can do like Wolverine. So. Oh, oops. Yeah, but you can do that. So he can fuzz you on hit. So if you're crouching, you can get instant overhead, and then I can like X Factor. Like that. So if I get the hit, then you're messed up. He also has really good incoming setups as well. He has this. This can hit both sides. It's really wonky. If I can land it, it's really wonky, I'd say. And he also has like one of these, which is what I like. Oh, oops. That was unnecessary. I like this mix up a lot.
Ooh, just the straight up one.
Yeah, that one's really good. And it can cross up depending on the timing too and stuff, which is really great. It really gives like good setup for opportunities like this. So you can basically get stuff off like that. There's also this one as well. Oh, if I landed it correctly. I use that one. I think it's really good. On block, it should be really good in my opinion. If I can land it. That one blocks everything, so I have the log trap that comes down fast enough, and I can still air dash after that, which is good. And if they try to force X Factor, well, they'll get hit by the Mighty Strike. But he doesn't really have like a lot of interesting like setups. You can use Spark as well, which is really good. It can also hit behind sometimes too, the hitbox, which is really funny. But that's like one of his really good tools. It just covers so much. And I can grab after too, which is great. It's one of those really good tools that you can just grab after they land. So it has very low durability.
Do you almost treat him like kind of like a grappler when you get in their face, like a strike throw style pressure?
Yeah, I really do, but actually am really opposed to command grabbing people at a high level, just because a lot of people know how to get out of the setups now, and it's harder to catch people off guard since neutral is so dependent on getting hits. And so if I feel like I caught on to someone's patterns of movement, then maybe I'll do a command grab, or maybe I'll catch him off guard in the air, or maybe in block stun if he doesn't push block, then maybe I might command grab him if it's the right read, obviously. But I usually never actually use it unless like I really know I'm gonna grab someone, because I feel like it's just too risky, especially in this game where getting one hit really changes the flow of the game, since everyone pretty much kills now. In like 2021 Marvel 3, everyone just pretty much kills you off one hit, so you really have to be careful about using a command grab. But if you use the command grab and you have 2 bars, you can still safety HC.
Do you have any nasty frame traps he can do or anything like that to punish mashers?
I think the only one is actually this, but is that one? Is the crouching light, the crouching M?
Just leaves a little gap there.
Yeah. If I delay it, if they press the button, they'll get hit. Like that. That's a frame trap, obviously. They can't contest me there too. But that's really the only like actual frame trap he has, because a lot of his buttons, he has light to heavy. He has light to medium, but he can't do light, medium to heavy unless on hit, I believe. Or actually, I actually don't think that's true. Actually. Yeah, you actually, he can only link light medium S, and he can only link light heavy S. He can't use medium. Yeah, he's a weird character. He can't actually link, he can't link certain moves together, actually.
Yeah, that's not normal, right?
Yeah, he's like one of the weird wonky characters. Like I can't even press heavy after light medium. It won't work at all.
That's super weird.
Yeah, and light heavy doesn't work either on certain things too. So it's like, it's even.
How do you compensate for that in your strings, like doing it with one less hit? Is that something that people like know when they go against you? Is that matchup knowledge like common?
Actually, there's a lot of people don't really have the matchup knowledge against this character, except for some people that I really just play a lot, like Ray and like Jabril, or like Dual Kevin, most common people I just played recently. They kind of really know the matchup well, and they know how to exploit my weaknesses. But yeah, he has to just compensate for. He has loops that fix a lot of the problems where you don't have to use grounded normals. You're mostly doing combos in the air. So these are so much better, so you don't have to worry about the combos on the ground, since he really doesn't have anything, since most of his combos are in the air in general. So I like, this combo instead. We call these the spark loops. They're just they're normal Thor combos. They're the more advanced ones too, because they're a little bit hard for some people. But these are what is the recommended combo, I believe, in my opinion. It's the double command grab. This one is a gimmick that I like to do. If I mess up my command grab, I can just super again. It's just funny.
So you're saying like if you whiff the normal
command grab,
you just
yeah, I can do the other one. Or this one's my favorite too, if it works. This one.
Did you whiff one and then
Yeah, I
you
whiffed. Yeah, I whiffed the command grab, so I'm like right where he is when he starts falling.
Damn, and that gets you a nice little reset, huh?
Yeah, it was really good.
How does the command grab starter scale? Like, do you get good damage off that?
You get really good damage. So it's gonna be about for the heavy command grab. I think it's at 180,000 for one grab. So it's super good. And you know, I just can kill off this easily. Thor has some of the best damage in the game, in my opinion. One bar and I already kill. Yep. So that's one bar and I already kill. Like everything like 900 and above. I mean 900 and under, I believe. And then if I have DHC, then I can kill the entire cast.
Normally at this point, I would ask you about his Oki. I know Marvel's not a super Oki heavy game, and we already talked about incoming some. Is there anything that you would want to go over that's like related to this? Are there any more incoming setups, or does he happen to have like something useful on a hard knockdown that's worth touching on?
So the only thing I can really think of honestly is after a mighty smash, I like to watch where the person tech rolls. So I'll put it at random, just to show. Down recovery, random. So I like to wait a lot of times on situations like this, and then decide where I'm gonna move based off where he's teching. So I just really wait a lot, honestly. You know, it could be, you know, I could be guessing, you know. I kind of just like to predict the movement. You know, I try to like wait and just make sure that he's just, you know, standing there, and I'm gonna wait for the tech roll. You know, that way, either I create space and it's okay. So if he tech rolls and tries to do something, it's still in my favor around this space, since I'm controlling this part of the screen, or you know, I'm still up in his face. You know. So it just really depends. But I like to watch where they're gonna tech roll and stuff too. It's really like interesting. Sometimes they tech roll forward, sometimes they tech roll back, you know, so I gotta watch those too. But that's the only really Oki that you can really do in this game, because like you said, Oki doesn't really exist in this game in my opinion. Not with certain characters in my opinion. But yeah, Marvel's really not an Oki game. It's more of a heavy neutral and heavy mix-up game where most people are just dying off one hit, so they're just guessing for their life to save them a game or so.
Right. Let's talk about the least fun part, being on defense. Sometimes, you know, it's a fighting game. It's Marvel, you gotta block real well. So does Thor have anything that helps him out when he's on defense? Like any nifty tricks to know, any moves that are good to throw out? What does he got?
On defense, honestly, it's the same thing like kind of playing offense. You want to throw mighty strikes to make them be scared of pressing buttons or throwing out projectiles, because I can clip them for something. Like even right here, like I'm already right over here, and this is still not safe. I'm so far back from him, and it's still not safe. That tool is really good, but actually on the defensive end, with actually like applying pressure. He only has this, which is like the X Factor cancel. It's a command grab first frame. You can do that as a defensive option, but you waste your X Factor in return. So it's a risky play, but it really does start momentum, especially if you really need a kill on a character that really is just gonna destroy your team. You know, I think it's one of the best things to do. But other than that, he really doesn't have any defensive options. But Alpha Counter as an assist is also another defensive option he has, so he can use that as well. But that is the only defensive option he has. Besides that and the command grab super and placing mighty strikes at neutral, those are his really defensive options. But that's about it.
Of any of like the system mechanics, like does he have anything like strong to do out of a push block or anything like that if he succeeds at getting one of those?
A lot of the times I feel like with push block, on the offensive side, if people push block, I can command grab for free since they're push blocking in the air or the ground. So if I get close enough to them, they automatically have to take the command grab setup. If I do it, obviously, then I can do the command grab. But he doesn't really have any other options on defense. Like besides that, I guess just like with push blocking, you have to push block a lot of things in this game really precisely. Because if you don't, they can lead to accidental push blocks, and you don't want to be mashing push block either. You want to be press and push block at specific moments where you don't have to worry about like block screens, and you know they're not going to do something, you know. So then you push block to push them off of you, And then that's when, you know, maybe they get pushed back here, and then that's when you can start playing your offense again, you know, trying to run them down again. Or just play very defensive, and if they call assist, you can just strike through here. Or stuff like that too. For example, like Sogenmu, his defensive style of the play game is very interesting. So it pretty much blows up Sogenmu like 99% of the time. You can't actually like that's playing defensive in my opinion. That's defensive Thor. It's just letting him do what he wants to do. You know, he can't even Sogenmu in my opinion. So that's like more of the defensive side of Thor, which also can lead to offensive too, because if he wastes that bar, then I'm one bar ahead of him depending on how the match is going. And, you know, he can't even use Sogenmu in this matchup. There's no point other than offensive pressure. I think he's a really good character. I think a lot of people should pick him up. But, you know, I think no matter what character it is, even if it's my character, you know, just play what you love and, you know, make teams around it. And don't be scared of change, you know. I was scared of change and making changes to my team, but it made me such a better player in general. And it improved my team and my synergy in general, and now I'm stuck with this team. So, you know, don't be afraid of change, but also play what you love and make sure it works too. You know, don't you know, you should be able to express yourself in this game like everyone else. There's so many like variations that you can do just to make yourself different from someone else. But yeah, just play Thor. Play Thor. He's the god of thunder. He's super cool. I think if you like playing grapplers and you like playing air dashers and you put it together and you got Thor, he's basically what we call him is the white man Magneto. Well, that's what I call him. That's my opinion. The white man's Magneto, since that just fits me so well.
All right, do you want to give me? This is Marvel. This is a combo game. We saw some loops. Do you have any sauce to show some
sauce
on the way out?
Oh, sauce. Oh, I do. Let me change the teams because the sauce is gonna be really. Also, I was gonna say too. To me, this is really important. But no matter what, if you do happen to pick up Thor, I do recommend only these assist characters if you want to get to a high level of play. I only recommend 6 characters with him. Really 5 in my opinion, but 6. But if you're going to play Doom, you gotta play Rocket Raccoon, Doctor Strange, Amaterasu, Dante, Shuma, and Doctor Doom. Those are the only characters in the game where I feel like if you're gonna play at a high level, you need to pick 2 of those characters surrounded by Thor. Those are the best options in my opinion to play Thor at a high level, and I would recommend just picking 2 of those up if you really want to play Thor. Those are my recommended assists characters to play around Thor. I think those are the best ones. I think anything else is not good enough for top level.
Is that for like neutral assistance or like combo structure or like a little bit A, a little bit of B?
It's both. It covers neutral and combo assists as well. So, you know, just in general, I feel like, you know, a lot of people will play Dormammu Doom with Thor, and I really don't like playing characters that like where Thor only has 1 assist because Dormammu has such bad assists. So I actually don't even like Dormammu. I think he's one of the shittiest characters with him. I think if you just want to play Dormammu, you might as well just play Raccoon. It's better with Thor in general, and you get a really good assist. You get Lock Trap, so it's really good. Alright, I'll show 2 combos real quick, so that way you have them both, just in case.
Sounds good.
But this is one of my favorite combos I do in tournament. This one. I like that one a lot.
Does
That one's really.
second hit a Mighty Smash OTG?
Depends. The medium one does. Those ones are really hard. Yeah, like you can do stuff like this, but these ones are really hard. If I can land it. There you go.
Oh, dude, I wasn't expecting all that ending. Jeez. Wait, what? You can loop that off Rocket Super?
Yeah, he gets more.
Oh, that's sick. Okay,
Yeah.
that's super cool. That was
Yeah,
lot more than I was anticipating.
Yeah, it's super cool. And he can if you do from Thor to Strange, you can kill off like actually I'm gonna show that combo actually because that one's one of the coolest ones. Yeah.
Oh man, that was kind of wild.
Yeah, there's one more. This one's gonna be really kind of cool looking, but I gotta make sure these characters die because it's a snapback combo.
Nice.
I'd say that's about it.
All right, man. That's everything I've got for you today. Let's plug your stuff. Where can people find you if they want to see some sweet Thor gameplay? You got Twitch, you got Twitter. You got
Yeah, Twitter. You can follow me at Irongod_FGC. For Twitch, you can follow me at Irongod_WNF for Wednesday Night Fights _FGC. You can find me there on Twitch. That's about it. I mean, my DMs are always open on Twitter. If anyone has questions about the character or in general, I'm always open to letting people understand what to do and to learn the character. I'm willing to help people out.